this incredible drive to succeed. I've just got this ambition, I want to get on the podium. I think there's a lot of people that have an older mentality and don't think women belong in motorsport, and that's one thing I'd like to prove a lot of people wrong. It's you in the car and it's your ambition and your drive to win. As soon as that helmet goes on, that's it. I'm Brooke Newson. I'm a sprint car and outlaw car driver.
Building a street car through to a race car? Be sure to think of Aeroflow Performance. The ever-increasing range that started with just hose, fittings and fuel system components has grown to include boosted turbochargers, bang shift shifters, X-Pro ignition and electrical accessories, Bosch motorsport products, fabrication parts, as well as driveline and engine components. With an exceptional distribution network and inventory, Aeroflow products are always within reach. With more to come in the future, be sure to keep an eye out at aeroflowperformance.com.
Heavy Duty magazine is the proud sponsor of Sydney Dragway Street Bike. Editor Mick Withers is a long-time racer and supporter of this entry-level bracket. Heavy Duty is Australia's #1 Harley-Davidson magazine, with road tests of new Harleys, features on wild customs and tech articles from riders with grease under their fingernails. Heavy Duty is also proud to sponsor modified bike champion Shaun Ricketts, upcoming junior drag bike racer Anastasia Lucky, and modified bike racer Peter Bartlett. Grab your copy of Heavy Duty magazine from heavyduty.com.au.
Shannon's is giving motoring enthusiasts the chance to win a trip to one of the world's greatest motoring events, the 2026 Goodwood Festival of Speed. Plus, win a new Indian motorcycle Sport Chief. To enter, take out new eligible car, bike or home insurance. Go online or call Shannon's.
Hi, my name's Jenna. I'm the team coordinator for Volante Roso. We're here at Phillip Island where we've got our Radicals and our GT3. They're currently out on track and they're the champions of the weekend. However, we wouldn't be here without our partners Pack Lease, who are the real heroes who help us get here. They help us get to any event that we need to go to, including race weekends, media days, and track days. We've been partnered with the team at Pack Lease for the past 3 years, and we couldn't think of anyone better who we want to do this with. They get us from A to B and to every racetrack and every event that we need to go to. They are so extremely helpful with everything that we need, and we love being partnered with them.
Offers the widest range of safety gear, including helmets, Simpson hybrids, boots, driving suits, gloves, harnesses, underwear, accessories, and much more. Whether you're on the drag strip, circuit, or off-road, Simpson Race Products Australia has all the gear to keep you protected. Built to protect every race, every track, every lap. Simpson Racing Products Australia. For more information or to get some of the best safety equipment in Australia, send an email to sales@simpsonraceproducts.com.au or contact them directly on 0407 108 103 or 02 9545 6662.
incredible drive to succeed. I've just got this ambition, I want to get on the podium. I think there's a lot of people that have an older mentality and don't think women belong in motorsport, and that's one thing I'd like to prove a lot of people wrong. It's you in the car and it's your ambition and your drive to win. As soon as that helmet goes on, that's it. I'm Brooke Newson. I'm a sprint car and Outlaw car driver.
Don't forget, guys, next week we have our Sydney Euro Motor Festival, 20th of June. Raw racing, drag racing, show and shine, drifting, trade stands, corporate facilities, and also the food trucks. So if you guys want to win some cash, as I said, there's cash for the general public as well, Bushy. So
it's certainly shaping up to be a fantastic event, Adam. It's been coming for a little while now. I think there was a weather delay the first time around, but definitely you've got some cracker companies on board with some pretty cool products and some great prizes and plenty of interest from the motorsport side of things as well. So plenty to see and do for anybody, whether you're into motorsport or whether you just like looking around your trade stands and bits and pieces. You've got plenty of those coming along as well. So looks to be an absolute fantastic weekend. Of course, that's next Saturday, isn't it?
yes, mate.
Yep.
So we're nearly at capacity for competitors. I think there's only 2 or 3 left. So there's only 1 corporate box left. Said 26 vendors. I think we're way over 100 and something. As said, competitors. So if you don't want to compete, you can also bring your car down, join in the show and shine. So as I said, next weekend, 20th of June, Sydney Euro Motor Festival. So as we go back to our live images here, we've just got some of the track cleaners going through. So hopefully they'll be able to...
It's actually pretty weird. Look at that shot there. I was just going to make a comment.
It's very eerie.
Yeah, I was just going to make a comment. We've got a blanket of tyre smoke just hovering between us in level 2 of the commentary tower and the lights above.
It's yeah.
So it's just above the, I'd say, the wall that runs over the top of the walkway that runs over the building here at Sydney Dragway. So it's just a very thin layer of tyre smoke. We get that when the air becomes dense.
So for those unfamiliar watching the live stream, aren't familiar with how eliminations work, as I said, left lane versus right lane, 60 kilometers an hour with the left lane leading. So if you're in the right lane and you're in front of the left lane, well, you're probably going to lose. So as I said, 60 k's an hour, 1,000 foot. As we have a look in the have a look down into the staging area, as you can see, Bushy, cars as far as the eye can see.
Yes, that's exactly right. All of our competitors, they've probably got that little first round butterfly right about now, I dare say, but that's a good thing. Keep you on your toes.
We've also got Leanne down there somewhere.
Yes, just down here waiting. I have just been told we're doing eliminations at 8:30.
Okay,
People
great.
want to have a bit of a warm-up again.
Awesome. Okay, so great for our viewers on YouTube land and Facebook land. Just said so 8:30 we'll kick in elimination, so we get to have a bit more of a practice session, get some cars dialed in. Hopefully everyone is keeping warm in the grandstands tonight.
What's it like out there at the moment, Leanne?
It's cold, definitely smoky. You can feel it down here, but there's a lot of cars lined up, so I'm looking forward to them coming through.
I was looking for you. I was looking in the grandstand and realised you're right below us. I was like, where is she?
How's your heater?
Oh, it's great.
No heater up here. No, we're braving it in the...
We are in a T-shirt.
I don't know why. The aircon's on 19. I'm in a T-shirt and I'm still hot. It's just the excitement, Bushy. That's what I put
exactly
it down
right.
to.
You're running off
It must be
Wildcat.
the Wildcat that I got downstairs from the food truck area. It's actually not too bad, to be honest, ladies and gentlemen. If you got a chance, head down. Tell them you'll sit down to grab a Wildcat, blueberry flavour. I said I'm drinking like it's cordial. So actually, I should check. How many does this say? Max? Does it say any max per day?
It doesn't matter.
I mean, if it doesn't, it means I just keep drinking it and feel good about myself because I know.
Well, give me your unopened one
Yeah,
there.
give me that one. You can be Dr. Bushy with me because
I could just Google it, but
no. It says not recommended if pregnant. Well, I'm not pregnant, so we should be good.
That's the only warning that you found. You found that twice now.
Yes.
So all good.
Okay.
Come to
Well,
your heart's content.
drink on,
I'd say.
mate. Yeah, Dr. Bushy said. So, once again, ladies and gentlemen, 8:30 eliminations will commence. We'll final that down to the final 2 for the grand final of round 3.
Yes, and what this small delay in proceedings has meant is that all of our cars are banked in the staging area, as we can see on that shot on the big screen here at Sydney Dragway. Staging lanes are chockers with cars and with people down there. Let's see what can unfold. Most of them will probably get maybe definitely one, maybe 2 runs before eliminations will commence, as we said, at 8:30 tonight. And then the eliminations typically roll through pretty fast once we get underway, and time permitting.
Just a quick shout out, Bushy. We've got Mad Cow, Cliff, Denny. Good evening to you guys on the live stream, some of the regulars. We've also got Jerry, Zach, and Alexander. So if you're down here on the track, ladies and gentlemen, let your friends and family know that it is on live stream if they were unable to make it tonight.
Yeah, we'll definitely do our best to bring a quality show. Looks like we're just giving the track a very light spray of traction compound with a little bit of a rub from the tractor as well. Which will, of course, excite all the rubber compounds on the surface.
I'm just here in the pits with Mr. Andrew Hawkins. Hello.
Hello, Leanne. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Fantastic.
Are you racing tonight?
Yeah. I actually haven't roll raced in a little while, so it's good to be back out roll racing again. Got our R35 GTR project car that we just got running again. It's pretty basic, but just here to have some fun. My 32 will be back soon, so I'll race that very soon as well.
Perfect. Is it your first time racing on this side?
Yes, for roll racing, yeah. I did all the practice stuff and testing for this last year and everything like that. So I've roll raced here, but not actually at a KOTS yet. So at GTR Festival, I drag raced on Saturday, but I just didn't get the chance to do any roll racing on Sunday. So I'm just happy to have some fun and just do it chilled out and not be the event promoter trying to drive at the same time. So yeah, it's good. Good turnout, good cars here, lots of mates here, good atmosphere, good times.
Talking of being an event promoter, let's do a sneaky plug. What's next? GTR Festival USA?
Yeah, USA, November 14th through 16th. I'm off to UK next month to do some marketing and promotion for a GTR Festival in the UK as well in 2026, in August. So next year we're at 4 GTR festivals in 4 different countries, and we're working on a couple more. So yeah, it's non-stop. I've got something wrong with my brain when it comes to GTRs, and I can't help myself and just bite off more than I can chew. Just keep on chewing until we make it work. So, but while I'm here, big thank you to everyone that came to GTR Festival a few weeks back. I know the weather forecast was shocking, and the weather turned good. Everyone turned up, and it was a mad event.
Great, thank you. Have fun.
Just a quick one, Liam, while you've got Andrew there.
Yes.
Just came back from GTR Festival New Zealand. It looked like it was a stunning event. Great turnout. Any highlights from Andrew's perspective of it in New Zealand?
Yeah, New Zealand was very different to here. Firstly, it's not Western Sydney, so you can already work out it's pretty different. But they do it at a circuit, so there's roll racing, drag racing, but there's also cruising, drifting, time attack sessions. It has a more chilled vibe there, a lot more street car sort of vibes there. But we are actually working on taking some Aussie cars there next year and actually using Miri Dragway at night time after we use Hampton Downs during the day. So we've got some cool ideas for New Zealand next year. It was the first time Hiroshi Tamura had been there, but I will say this, it's like just a very different atmosphere, very chilled. I went for a ride in a Group A replica GTR, that was mad. But the roll racing and drag racing is getting pretty fierce there. When you go through the pits, you'll see the New Zealand cars, they've very much been watching Motive Video a lot to learn how to build a Sydney-style GTR.
As I said, if you haven't been to New Zealand before, it's an excellent time. Go down, tick off your bucket list, go down and see the GTR Festival, experience New Zealand at the same time. So, as I said, we are thanking Andrew for jumping on tonight. As I said, it's not often you get to have a chat with an event promoter who's also a racer, who's also a commentator who's also a YouTuber.
Yeah, he ticks a lot of boxes. Andrew, it was a pretty big skill set.
Producer, voiceovers, director, event promoter, event organizer, racer, commentator, car engineer, builder, whatever. Just label it all, mate. Whatever.
His LinkedIn is Chockers.
What's LinkedIn? I'm old.
No.
I don't need LinkedIn, mate.
No, everyone knows you already. No, we appreciate your time, mate.
Thanks, Andrew.
So it looks like we just got one final pass going on with the tractor bushy. So if my Go Gadget arms can reach over here, we might have a quick zoom in here on the back staging area. Menacing looking BMW with the yellow headlights. We've got the Evo. We've got looks like an old Cressida. You got the what's the EK Holden at the back?
Yes.
That fluoro yellowy green colour there.
Yeah, we've got a Falcon Ute there as well.
Yeah.
YXW utility.
So as I said, we've those on stream, just to let you know, we did start early just to make sure you guys didn't miss any of the action. So as I said, at 8:30, eliminations will commence, and that will dwindle down to the final two, declaring the winner of round 3 here at KOTS Australia.
Yes, we've seen some impressive runs already here tonight. I think the quickest 274.
Keep going.
No?
There was a 293 before.
Oh, 90.
Yeah,
Beg your pardon.
Yeah, no. As I said, we're looking to crack 300 once again. So we don't have to get 300 kilometres an hour here at Rolls in Australia, but over here we are. I must say we do it well, but so we've got a well prepped track. We finally got there in the end. Might need some more Wildcat available downstairs, and we can.
It's
as
exactly
I said,
what you need.
well, as I said, here you've got longer run as well, so you can get. Listen, longer distance means more speed. Simple as that.
Yep.
So.
I dare say the conditions out there, those cars making plenty of horsepower, it is just a matter of controlling that through your tyre into the racetrack and being brave enough to keep the foot planted.
So, yeah, definitely. You got Zach Elmere there on Facebook going, yeah, up the Osmonds Racing Evo. So a couple of people asked about the Burnouts. Our Burnouts have commenced for this evening. Alexander says, Miss Lambo direct from SA. That is correct. Miss Lambo is here in Orpignus. I think it was second fastest, 283. I think he ended up getting it. So.
Oh, did the pink card do a run? Did it? When did I miss that?
I'm not too sure. Round 1 GDR round 2 at KOTS, around the KOTS round GDR festival rounds. So it's good to have. As I said, it's nice to have the usual suspects. It's also nice to have the one or two that dark sheep that come along and.
Well, I think that the racer base for these events is building each time. You know, the more that we can get the quicker cars out here, they come out and say, "I'll give this, to their customers and their friends or whatever it might be. Let's come out and give this a crack. Let's see how quick your car actually goes. You know what I mean? Put it against something similar, and and if you can end up in front of a car that you know is fast, then you've got a slightly faster car."
Yeah, and as I said, over here, you actually physically see the speeds at the end. So, I said, ticks many boxes over this side.
Sure does, and of course, we're not too far away now from getting back into some practice runs for just prior to getting into our eliminations here tonight.
So as I said, we've had some very, very close results. Some very nice sleeper vehicles, i.e. that Toyota Hilux down there, that frame there.
In the middle of the frame there.
The toolbox bolted in the back. Probably got weight. It's probably got weights to weigh it down, low-lying tools. So that's a M4 comp. Evo 6 over here. R35, VF Commodore, EK Holden.
Just as a wild question out there, Adam, what do you reckon the average horsepower is of those cars sitting down? If I was to say average.
Average. Well,
there's no right or wrong. We just say, are we talking 500 horsepower, 600?
Well, then you've got And then you've got RHM putting out 2106.
I know that there's a number of cars down there
blows the averages out.
That would bring the averages up. Yes,
Yeah.
I am fully aware of that.
But yeah, no, 1,000 horsepower these days is a minimum for some reason. Like,
Yeah.
it's a crazy thought for our technology and safety. Yeah, just the power of ethanol, honestly.
Yes. A lot of those PRP products as well allow you to throw them more boost into the car and do it reliably as well.
Yep, that's correct.
Parts manufacturing, the consistency, the precision in which the parts are made as well, and the materials that they're being made from have definitely allowed the intense, quite rapid development of horsepower in an engine that typically 20 years ago didn't want to know you if you were anywhere near these sorts of horsepower ratings that we're seeing.
As I said, like 20 years ago, everyone thought 200, 300 was pretty good. Now here we are going, oh. So it looks like we're having a bit of movement in the tunnels coming through. Quick look down here. Try and see what Leanne's up to. You can see her walking around. Everyone's pulling her aside. She's trying to do interviews and everyone's going, "Hi, Leanne," and she gets pulled aside. So, as I said, guys, if you are still interested, as I said, we've got Motive video upstairs here with the merch. So if you want to get a hoodie, grab a jumper, go up and see the lovely people at Motive Video upstairs. As we get the thumbs up, Bushy.
It's always a good sign.
Cars come through the tunnel.
There's that blanket of smoke all but cleared except for over the grandstand.
Correct.
Must be getting caught in the shade structure. We can see those couple of cars rolling under the tunnel now. As Adam and I have said, a few more runs now, and then we'll get into eliminations around about 8:30 this evening, which is around about half an hour's time. Adam and I will let you know when the first round of eliminations is, and of course, in eliminations, if you don't get the win light, you'll have to wait.
First pair off, R32 taking on the Husbands Evo. 32 swirling down left and right. He's fighting it. Powers through 230 to 217.
Osman's car definitely not going straight there either, Adam. It's definitely on the wheel.
Yeah, definitely fighting it. I said, when you've got that much power these days and you're fighting the traction. Up next, 35 take on the Civic. Looks like the 35 as well and truly led this one. As the Turbo Civic kicks in though, keeping it honest with the Skyline. 192 to 185.
Yeah, wow. They would have been much closer if they were closer together on the hit.
Yeah, so you got to make sure you're neck and neck before you start. Definitely helps.
I can see that pink Lambo you were talking about.
Yeah, Miss Lambo.
Miss Lambo just about to come under the tunnel, so not too far away. Has she done a run tonight?
Yeah, did. Before
She
I
did.
said the 293. So,
Okay.
as I said, they're purple. Tony in the purple Lambo, Miss Lambo and the pink Lambo. They've been in the 280, 290s. So, hopefully, you never know. There might be a bit of a page up action later and might hit the 300. As we are, just have a quick debris removal. Looks like the GoPro stick fell off the back of the Civic.
Yes, the old GoPro stick. I wonder how many GoPros have been dragged down a racing surface somewhere or hit a concrete wall, have come off.
Imagine the footage in that.
Yeah.
We should put one of those one of our wireless cameras on there and just see what happens.
I mean, don't get me wrong, they're a good product, but they do seem to come adrift.
All right, next pair off. R32 versus the Beamer. Beamer is leading, unfortunately, so maybe Skylar took advantage of it. Skims left, skims right, brings it back to the middle. 250.9, 173 from the BMW.
And the BMW looked like it was going on a Sunday drive in comparison to
It looked so steady, didn't it?
did. Yeah.
Skyline sideways and the BMW's just rattling. As the next pair comes through, R35 taking on the Touring of the Beamer. That Beamer is serious.
Yeah, wow, that accelerated like nobody's business out of the start line.
223 to 172. That Beamer wasn't even hauling from the beginning, and it turned it back around, turned into a 223. So the tuning capabilities of these new modern BMWs is really opening up now that the software is available on those ECUs. As the Stealth Hilux takes on the Evo.
Oh, the loose on the hit for the Hilux, but he's going to stay out in front.
Keeps it straight, keeps it on as finishes through, crosses over. I bet that Evo went, oh, what just happened then? So, as I said, good to see some sleepers out here tonight. So next pair come on through. Miss Lambo takes on Gem 34. Rolling intellect, kicked in, buttons released, shoots through, powers around the 34, straight as a rail. Takes the win. Next pair sent off. VF Ute, Hedges V8U versus the, is it a Mark 3? Mark 2? As the Chaser chases it down and goes around. Powers through, crosses the line. 203 to 206.
Yeah, wow.
Just 3 kilometres in it, nothing in it at the end either.
That was a good pass there from both cars. Wouldn't have expected the Chaser to stay beside that utility, being that it is such a quick car, but I was wrong.
Next up, Evo versus 35. 35 hits the button. See you later. I'm coming through. Crosses the line.
249.5 kilometres an hour for the 35 in the rocket lane. Next up, R35 taking on the BMW in the rocket lane.
That BMW took off straight away, go to woe. 185 to 180.
I think we've got a couple of those Skylines now with the neon lights.
The Need for Speed Underground Edition.
Yes. Well, coming up our first Porsche for tonight, Adam. I can see the blue RS down there.
As we've got Tony in the purple Lambo taking on the STI. Tony says, I'm not playing games, mate. See you later. Have a good one. 261 to 171. Tony rolled out of it about 3/4 down. No point pushing it if you're already ahead.
No, that car pretty well sorted as well. Each run it's done has been dead straight. It's just a matter of coming out and winding more boost into it.
And how much to put into it at the same time. So as I said, VF taking on the VL.
VL straight over towards the centre line on the hit.
He hits the left, hits the right, aims it straight, shoots around the VF. 194 to 182.
Next up, the Ute taking on the FG Falcon down there. The Ute
very
loose.
Sideways, bushy.
Yeah, he needs one of those toolboxes in the boot.
Mate, he powered out of that and kept going. He said, I still want that win. 191.
Yeah, wow. Wow, 169 for the Falcon sedan in the rocket lane there. That was a big step sideways for the utility. EK taking on the Audi down there.
Audi taken off. So the EK's keeping it honest though, keeping close.
Yeah, the Audi just starting to stretch legs now though, Adam. 155 to 132 for the EK. I think he went a little bit quicker on the first pass that he did in the EK.
Correct.
Old Newt taking on the skyline down there. And the aeroflow lane takes it 191 kilometres an hour to 162 in the rocket.
Definitely a lot of cars in the 200 club here tonight. Hopefully a couple of members will be inducted into the 300 kilometre club. Being said, 992 Porsche taking on the Lamborghini. Lambo hit the go button. 258 to 174. Tell you what, these turbo V10s are going crazy tonight.
Yeah, probably loving the atmospheric conditions out there.
Beautiful weather.
They'd be right at home in the German Autobahn right now, wouldn't they?
Looks like our next set of lane is getting ready to come through. Solid turnout here from the staging lanes. So we've got to set the, looks like the VL Walkinshaw getting ready to come up. S15, R34, R32. Looks like the data, I can see the B2R, R33.
A little bit of there, just in that shot alone, there's something there for everybody. Doesn't matter what style of car you like.
It's definitely a great atmosphere down there.
Is it? Yeah.
Completely different, yes.
I thought you were missing in the crowd.
I was having too much fun in the fumes.
You're a little bit disappointed you didn't get your wall side burnout, did you?
All right, up next, Tirana versus Sadek in the Mazda. Oh, neck and neck, nothing in it.
That Tirana just hooked up and gone. 221 through the finish line. The Sadek RX4 215.
Couple
not
more
too
in the
far
200
behind
club.
it. Yeah. Good pass from both races there.
Yeah, 100%, mate. King 2 litre versus the Datsun Mazda. All right, 200 and 207.
Okay, the Mazda quicker there, but just a little bit slower up to the start line.
So just a reminder for our competitors, windows up, aircon off, headlights on, as Walking for Sure takes on at the 34. He can hit the 34, one to go, hits the button, powers through, darts left, darts right, hits the set at 232, 145.
Only 90 kilometres an hour difference there between
Only
those
90,
two.
Bushy, yeah, only 90. All right. Here comes the Evo, taking on the 34. Evo hits it. Skyline's coming through. They're fine. They're going left. They're going right. 246, 232.
That Mac 34 is impressive.
Yeah, Mac knows it. He knows what he's doing. But as I said, mate, they're rolling in his door. As soon as they hit green, they hit that button and they start squirreling down. As we see our next pair getting ready, R32. Just waiting for the all clear. There's the all clear coming through. Kilahara taking on the C63. Hits the go run sideways from the skyline, rolls out of it.
Yes, wow, that was a dart to the concrete there for the skyline.
If it was Eliminations, Skillahara, mate, he would have been back on it. But as I said, If you have a moment, it's only practice. There's no point being silly with it. That thing, he had that turned up to 11. The next pair comes up. It's got the S15 taking on the Evo, Tommy Mäkinen.
S15 with a parachute on the back give you an indication of its performance levels. Mind you, the Evo definitely keeping it.
Sorry, mate. The S15 was literally in 45 degrees on finish line. Still powered through 45 degrees finish line, 200 kilometers an hour. Next pair comes through.
It's the B2R34.
Been in there one.
That's the one.
Take it on the VK. It was the V8. I didn't quite missed it, unfortunately. Either way. Wow, 210 to 204.
He's definitely going to be one to watch in the eliminations.
As I said, Leanne just alliterated. Eliminations coming up at 8:30 as Fear FG takes on the King 2J in the Supra. Supra hit the button. Falcon said, too soon, mate. I'm coming back around, but just not in time.
Nope.
213 to 187. We'll have a look at our next pair coming through. Golf versus golf. Everyone had a bit of a stutter there. The blue one took off quite nicely, actually. This might be pretty close. Oh, 264 to 261.
It's very evenly matched, both those cars.
All right, here comes George, TTR8, taking on the R35. George close to the center line, brings it back out, regains it, powers back on. 261 to 182. Bushy, mate. George was going pretty close to that center line. Thought,
Yeah.
nah, I got this. I'll keep going. Puts the foot back down.
You had a good view of the timing blocks as he went down in the center line.
As the S15 leads the R33. Here we go. Shift cut. Hit the left, hit the right.
Onto the brakes early. Still runs 220 through the finish line.
Hits the brakes at 220. Maybe some people are holding their cards close, Bushy.
Yeah, just not showing their full hand, that's all.
So,
equivalent to pulling the chutes early.
as I said, mate, this is just practice. All right, Mach 3 Supra taking on the Evo. Supra sideways off the mark. Evo set to kill. Oh, sideways from the Evo. 210 to 204. That Evo nearly ended up in the left lane.
That he did, Adam. There certainly wasn't much of a gap there, I dare say, and they would have been side by side as well. Definitely less than a car length in it. Oh, the Audi very loose on the hit. And it looks like the aerofoil lane will take it 184 kilometres an hour and an aborted 145 for the Audi in the rocket lane there.
All right, VF taking on the Datsun.
First pass that I've seen for the little Datsun here tonight. Draws up alongside the Commodore and will take the win, 173 kilometres an hour.
R32 versus the FG. 32 hit it hard, but looks like he's rolled out. FG, they're both backed out, 170 to 162. Marfor Super taking on, was that the B-Char looks like?
R34 in the rocket lane. Moving around a little bit, but definitely out in front. Let's see what he can do at the top end. 219 through the finish line.
Casually.
Yes, to 198.
As George in the twin turbo R8 comes down the return road. We've got 4-banger in the Evo, 3-pot in the Yaris. Yaris hits the button, Evo hits the button back. Evo goes left, goes right, continues through 214 to 199. So what, you can definitely tell when they hit the punch buttons, Bushy.
You sure can, but those little Yarises, they look pretty stable. They don't seem to deviate and torque steer as much as the other cars.
Well, they got all-wheel drive, Bushy, so
yes.
He definitely helps as the XT takes on the 35. Little mini wheelie there from the Falcon.
Yeah, I think.
Holy moly. 231, 192. The front end took up as soon as he hit that go button. David Norley coming back through in the Datsun.
Yeah, I think the Falcon a little bit fast up to the start line there. I think we saw 93 kilometres an hour. The aim of the game, 60.
Yeah, all talk in the 33, taking on the BF. BF a bit loose on the start. All talk took the lead, 221 to 214. The Falcon took advantage of the move of the starter, but All talk powered back, took back the lead, took the win. As we've got Evo versus White Panic 32. Looks like the Evo's had a bit of an issue here as this 32 powers through, rolls out 188. So just have a quick check of the track while that Evo rolls down towards the turnaround area. Just make sure there's no coolant in the airflow lane as it looked like a bit of liquid. Just checking the staging lanes now. It looks like we've got the Chaser, the S15, the big Ram truck, Leanne points out. If you didn't miss that one.
Definitely one of my favourites here. The bigger the better.
Biggest rig award. As I said, speaking of awards, Leanne, you got a couple of trophies in front of you.
Yes, we do. Platinum Racing Products. They sponsor the billet trophies. Billet made in-house cams. Very special. We've got two this round. Round 2 with the 2-wheel drive winner and the open class. So very exciting, very pretty, and very heavy.
Yeah, I can hear the weight in them as you put them back on
you
the
can hear
desk.
It. She picked up when it's as I said, can never have too many cam gears. As it looks like track inspectors are quite happy with that.
Very cool. All right, we shouldn't be too far away from sending the next pair.
Gem Skyline coming back on the return road. So as received word, we've put a little bit of a roadblock in the end of the lanes here. So once these cars are finished, we will transition over to eliminations. That being said, LR7, twin turbo R8 takes on, is it E30 BMW?
Yeah.
Haven't seen that tonight.
Yeah, looks like an E30, but I think if it's the one I'm thinking, it's definitely not stock, but that Audi
that
definitely
Audi.
not stock either.
Mate, that finished before it started. 263. Holy crow. That was, he hit the pedal and eased off as the E30 rolls out of it. He returns into the rollout gate. Ensures that proceedings continue as our next pair get ready to come through.
The Chaser taking on the S14.
+1.
S15, big bud.
Chaser being chased. Continues through. 142. S15 was powering back through though, 156. All right, Buffalo Supra taking on the Rotary.
You could definitely hear the rotary.
Winds it up. You can really hear him.
Lets it go and is out of there.
Rolls out of it, 204 to 151. The Ro's got more to come for sure. As we look up what's coming up next through our tunnel, we've got the BMW Cherry Wagon versus the sedan.
BMW big step on the let go of the button, still manages 214 kilometres an hour through the finish line to 174 in the rocket lane.
It's a nice looking E30, very clean. As the Civic takes on the R35, do not underestimate this Civic. .190 from the rocket lane as the Civic actually hit the brakes and crossed over 120. Commentators curse Bushy, foot pedal the metal, and then backed out of it.
Could be foxing, mate. Could be foxing.
He could be, mate. As we'll have a look through here. Next up, the VL taking on IM34. As the anti-lag kicked in, lets it go, pushes through, 34, crosses the line, 226, 183.
Next pair moving forward. Evo Lancer in the Aeroflot lane, leaves first.
Yeah, it looks like the VX and the rocket lane's trying hard pushing, but the Evo said, not today, buddy. Catch you later. 246.
To 163 in the rocket. Lancer just getting all that power to the ground.
Next pair comes through. RS3 taking on the tag. RS3 finishes it off as the tag rolls completely out of it. 158. Hopefully nothing too major with the tag.
Almost like it was in the wrong gear, Adam.
I said, mate, with the technology these days, you could have safety, you could have a fuel cut. It looks like he's safely made it to the exit gate as he goes through now. Just, maybe not. Might need a bit of help to get through the gate.
There we go.
So our next pair gets the thumbs up. As it looks like we've got one of the R34s. Not too sure if it's B2R or Gem. Versus Miss Lambo. It's the Gem 34 taking on Miss Lambo. Miss Lambo might need to catch up here, but I'm pretty sure they will. As he does, and he goes around straight off the bat.
No hesitation whatsoever there, Adam.
264 to 238. Yeah. Miss Lambo is definitely meaning business tonight. So we've got Miss Lambo, TTR8, and Tony's Lambo. As 240 Jet in the BF taking on the Z. Nice and close here, crosses the line almost simultaneously. 203 to 202.
Yeah, only 0.6 of a kilometre in that one between those two.
Nothing in it at all, Bushy. As V8 Killer Falcon U takes on the 32 Falcon Nixon. Loses track, he goes sideways. Skyline does the same. Darts left, darts right. Powers through. 227 sideways.
Yeah, I'll pass, thanks, Adam. Wow. That was left and
this
right
is practice.
all the way down from
This is
here.
practice.
That Skyline took a massive
Power
lead.
sliding at 207 kilometres an hour across the line.
Just on the hit, jumped a whole car width
That left Leanne
sideways.
speechless. She's like lost. She's trying to think of something, but that was a bit insane.
She just wishes she was in the driver's or the passenger seat.
Definitely driver, but I'd take either.
She's hold my beer. I got this.
No, Wildcat.
Wildcat. Don't forget Wildcat downstairs in the food truck section. Grab yourself a Wildcat. I've grabbed myself like 6, as you can tell. As we've got a Audi stuck in the burnout pad. I don't know whether he's pulled over or whether he's getting told to move along. All right. Godzilla 35 with the underglow taking on the Ram.
Ram over towards the wall in the rocket lane, but slowly moving back to the centre.
That is quick. 179 from the truck. Still your favourite?
Still my favourite. We need more trucks out here.
Hashtag bring more trucks. You ever know they might be at Sydney Euro Motor Festival next weekend? Shameless plug.
Yes, well, we'll be here with Platinum Racing products. Can't wait.
Don't forget, guys, if you're feeling a bit chilly, go see Andrew and the team at Motive Video up in the merch gazebo. As the Aeroflow crossed the line at 126 to 154. As Naj in the chat looks like he's having fun playing with his keyboard at home. You're joking in the Falcon, taking on the Evo. Stalls it up, hits it go, sparks out the exhaust.
Nice clean run out of the Falcon. 223.5 kilometres through the finish line to 183.7 for the rocket lane there, Adam.
No, there's definitely no clear winner tonight. This is getting to be insane. All right, Imposter Beamer taking on the Supra. Supra stalling it up. Punches it down, powers through. 230 to 181. All right, Absurd Evo taking on Mark III in the Supra. Supra sideways from the start, recovers it, but the Evo's already powered through. Evo sideways near the end, 227 to 206. Didn't know where to look there, Bushy. One was sideways and straight, then the other went sideways and straight.
Just making sure you share the love on either lane, Adam. That's all it's doing.
Looks like we've got about 10, 12 cars left in the staging lanes before we go straight into eliminations. Nice crowd out there. Hope everyone's warm and toasty.
Don't forget, guys, up for grabs tonight in the all-wheel drive class, overall class, sorry, and the two-wheel drive class. You've got round 3 open winner, round 3 two-wheel drive winner, proudly supported by PRP, as the R35 takes on the Falcon. There's a bushy.
Yep, Falcon, we haven't seen that here tonight that I'm aware of. So
Skyline's,
first pass.
Skyline's losing it nearly through the finish line, 208.
And 178 for the Falcon in the rocket lane. Your mic's on.
As I said, ladies and gentlemen, if you're a bit hungry, a bit thirsty, we have an immense amount of food stands and liquids upstairs. I can see Acai House up there peeping through, gas pizza, barbecue time. Good to see some Queenslanders in the chat trying to tell us that they're faster than us. Have fun with that, bud. Good to see you've learnt how to type on the keyboard. Well, we might just cut quickly to a bit of commercials while we wait. Just wait for a quick reset in the back here, and we'll be back with you guys shortly.
My name's Jenna. I'm the team coordinator for Volante Roso. We're here at Phillip Island, where we've got our Radicals and our GT3. They're currently out on track, and they're the champions of the weekend. However, we wouldn't be here without our partners Pack Lease, who are the real heroes who help us get here. They help us get to any event that we need to go to, including race weekends, media days, and track days. We've been partnered with the team at Pack Lease for the past 3 years, and we couldn't think of anyone better who we want to do this with. They get us from A to B and to every racetrack and every event that we need to go to. They're so extremely helpful with everything that we need, and we love being partnered with them.
Rug up. Motive Video has hoodies and jumpers over there if you want to have a look.
Many jumpers up there, Leanne?
Sorry, I missed that.
Just running. Is there heaps of hoodies and jumpers still available up at Motive? As the staging lands start reassembling, practice continues. Eliminations just move. As
we have Tony's Lambo ready to go, just waiting for the next car to come up. Looks like Andrew Hawkins in his R35.
Oh.
No one wanted to race him. I'm like, I don't care.
Andrew's taking one for the team. He's being the sacrificial lamb. As
just tell him to go now. Go now.
Leanne should ask, has he got a spare seat?
I do everything, don't worry.
As Andrew and Tony take off. Andrew takes off. Tony hits the button. 262 from Tony, 168 from Andrew. Still not a bad effort.
No, definitely not, but I am very impressed in how planted that Lamborghini seems to be on our racing surface here at Sydney Dragway.
See, Tony loves a prep track. King 2 Litre taking on Jay Sadek. Both of them hit the go. Nothing in it. 212 to 200.
Yeah, and only 500s across the finish line between the two.
Nothing in it at all, mate. Nothing in it at all. As the next pair gets ready to take on each other. It looks like we've got the S15. Brake boosting it up against the C63. Oh, S15 fighting it left, right, trying to bring it back, but still powering at the same time.
Wow.
Oh, wow. 192 to 179.
That was with the right-hand wheel in the unprepped section of the racetrack, right on the centre line, which is definitely not where you want to be. The car wanting to turn around to the right-hand side because the left-hand wheel had all the drive. Driver doing a fantastic job to keep it in a straight line.
As the Monaro taking it on.
A couple of pedals towards the finish of the run there, but 201 kilometres an hour for the Monaro. 203 for the car that was in the rocket lane there.
Whatever that was, mate, that was very competitive. As the STI takes on Osmonds. Osmond goes, you took off too soon, mate. Hooroo.
A wave edge on the way past.
215 to 173. The next two come through. The Nardo 32 taking on the S15. Nardo taking the win, 204 to 173. Evo taking on the VF. Evo is out of here. Left, right, fighting it. 229, 187.
Yeah, it was a nice pass from the Evo there. I think probably a little bit too far.
You can see him, he's just grabbing a gear and turning left, grabbing a gear and turning right. The final looks like 5-minute cars going through. Fat 180 taking on George in TTR8. George powers through. See you later, 259. Funny fact about that car bush here, the Audi, his air conditioning goes through the intercooler at the same time, so it's got like an interchiller.
Yeah, okay.
So it's like a constant 18, 19 degrees in the intake.
Nice.
So He can't run. He always has to run with the aircon on because
Is that a common modification?
No, the boys down Precision Racing have, I won't say invented, but they've definitely fine-tuned as we move into the next two cars. Final couple coming through. Walkinshaw taking on the R8. R8 hits it sideways, he backs out. Nearly taking out the cone. He knew that was going to be a near disaster and backed out of it. As our next pair come on through, Dave Norvey and his Dado taking on the VE. David climbing up through the gears, maintains the lead, 167 to 157.
Yeah, nice clean pass from the Datsun in that run, Adam.
Yep, David, one of our commentators across the road, taking advantage of tonight's action of being over here. As the Ute takes off well and truly before the Hilux. I don't know what's going here. He's just gone.
Certainly not hanging around. 187 through the finish line, but the Hilux 194 tells the story on that run.
It looks like we're down to maybe our final pair, final two pairs. FG Falcon taking on the Commodore Ute. Both of them whistling down 188 to 172. Adziati pop and crackling back down the return road. Might have one or two left here, Bushy. We're moving into eliminations.
Yeah, I dare say all of our competitors being held at the opening of the staging lanes.
Yep.
Out of shot in our staging lane shot, but they shouldn't be too far away from filtering down.
Yep, as the Commodore taking on the S15. The S15's rolled out of it. Nearly hitting 200 there.
139.5 for the car in the airflow lane on that pass.
As we do a quick track adjustment move into eliminations. We might take a quick 2 seconds, Bushy. Thanks to some of our sponsors. Joining us here, round 3 at KOTS Australia at Sydney Dragway.
I have this incredible drive to succeed. I've just got this ambition, I want to get on the podium. I think there's a lot of people that have an older mentality and don't think women belong in motorsport. And that's one thing I'd like to prove a lot of people wrong. It's you in the car and it's your ambition and your drive to win. As soon as that helmet goes on, that's it. I'm Brooke Newson. I'm a sprint car and outlaw car driver.
In reach. With more to come in the future, be sure to keep an eye out at aeroflowperformance.com.
Heavy Duty magazine is the proud sponsor of Sydney Dragway Street Bike. Editor Mick Withers is a long-time racer and supporter of this entry-level bracket. Heavy Duty is Australia's #1 Harley-Davidson magazine, with road tests of new Harleys, features on wild customs and tech articles from riders with grease under their fingernails. Heavy Duty is also proud to sponsor modified bike champion Sean Ricketts, upcoming junior drag bike racer Anastasia Lucky, and modified bike racer Peter Bartlett. Grab your copy of Heavy Duty magazine from heavyduty.com.au.
Shannon's is giving motoring enthusiasts the chance to win a trip to one of the world's greatest motoring events, the 2026 Goodwood Festival of Speed. Plus, win a new Indian motorcycle sport chief. To enter, take out new eligible car, bike or home insurance. Go online or call Shannon's.
Hi, my name's Jenna. I'm the team coordinator for Volante Roso. We're here at Phillip Island where we've got our Radicals and our GT3. They're currently out on track and they're the champions of the weekend. However, we wouldn't be here without our partners Pack Lease, who are the real heroes who help us get here. They help us get to any event that we need to go to, including race weekends, media days, and track days. We've been partnered with the team at Pack Lease for the past 3 years, and we couldn't think of anyone better who we want to do this with. They get us from A to B and to every racetrack and every event that we need to go to. They're so extremely helpful with everything that we need, and we love being partnered with them.
Drag racing, it isn't just a sport, it's our legacy. Performance, it isn't just a word, it's our promise. 3 generations, 1 unwavering passion. Speedflow, where innovation meets performance. Proudly Australian, unmistakably world class. Speedflow.
Simpson Race Products Australia offers the widest range of safety gear, including helmets, Simpson hybrids, boots, driving suits, gloves, harnesses, underwear, accessories, and much more. Whether you're on the drag strip, circuit, or off-road, Simpson Race Products Australia has all the gear to keep you protected. Built to protect every race, every track, every lap. Simpson Racing Products Australia. For more information or to get some of the best safety equipment in Australia, send an email to sales@simpsonraceproducts.com.au or contact them directly on 0407 108 103 or 02 9545 6662.
And we're back from our commercial breaks as we move into eliminations. The cars are coming back through the tunnel. Bushy, eliminations, one goes through, one gets eliminated.
That's the way that we come to our winner of each of the 2 trophies that are sitting up here on our bench. We're waiting eagerly to present them to the winner of tonight's racing.
That's right, Bushy. Best overall, best 2-wheel drive, proudly supported by PRP, Platinum Racing Products.
We can see the car starting to roll under the tunnel.
Yeah, I've been told we have the thumbs up, Bushy, so they'll be coming through very soon as we'll have a quick look. Here we go. All right, R35 taking on the M3
Aeroflot Lane's going to take it quite comfortably at the end. 196 through the finish line to a 178 in the Rocket Lane.
Not a bad result there for the Aeroflow Lane. P-plate and all. All right, VF Commodore taking on the EK. EK punches it. VF punches it. VF goes sideways. The power's on. Takes the win. 171 to 148. Some very close races in the first couple of rounds here. So we move on to the next pair. The Datsun Ute taking on the Falcon.
Sort of mixing the old school together with the new school.
That's it. Dado pedaling it. 219, 164 Bushy.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Adam. The little Dado had the brake lights well and truly on to nearly half track before they disappeared. So just keeping the car steady, I dare say, with the brakes.
He might have been teasing him.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, come on, come on.
Yeah, 100%. As our next pair come through, Evo versus the 32. Got a red light here, unfortunately both going through at 90.
Whoa,
both of them sideways, 238, 244. We'll leave that one to the judges, Bushy.
Yep, that's what they're there for, but certainly that both cars went the long way about it to the finish line.
Next pair comes through. Psycho Falcon taking on the Z. Greg and the Falcon powering it, but unlucky. 201 to 193. So the next two come on through. Got the Couture Lambo taking on the Tommy Mackinnon Evo. Lambo hit the button, takes off, powers through. Nice win. 261 to 182. As the next pair comes through, Tony in the purple Lambo taking on Four Banger. Four Banger taking off. Not too sure about that one. 206 to 200.
Either way, that was unexpected that the Lancer drove away there.
Yeah. We'll leave that one to the judges. Look like Tony backed out, but knowing. Here we go, the VF Gam taking on the VX. This VF here in the Aeroflot Lane Bushy is actually a shell rebuild. You've got a Calais and a VF HSV and combine them together and rebuild it all through a YouTube channel.
Yeah, okay. And that's the result.
One of our regulars from Race for Real on Wednesday nights. As our next ticket bearers come through, the B2R34 taking on Mr. 33. Two of our top hitters here. As you can see, they don't care. They're powering through no matter what. 259 to 249.
Less than a tenth of a second across the finish line between those two.
I don't care what direction I'm going. I'm crossing that line.
What that NASCAR guy, I'm just going to plant my foot until I see the checkered flag.
LR7, Turbo Audi taking on the Gem 34. Gem is in front. The R8 comes around. 265, 239.
I feel the intensity's just picked up just a fraction right now.
There's a couple of upsets happening very soon. First round, some big hitters getting eliminated. As we move on to Jet 203 in the FG, taking on the parachuted XD Falcon. Falcon is long gone. 218.
No, he was showing a red light down
That's
there.
what I was about to say. Looked like a red though from the XT as the Falcon dropped, FG dropped out because of it. All right, White Panic 32 taking on the 34. Powering through 232 apiece.
Yeah, wow. So 0.9 of a kilometre between them two across the finish line.
All right, Miss Lambo taking on the Beamer. Beamer goes around from the beginning. Unfortunately, the Beamer didn't have this one. 262, 174.
Yeah, shy by about 90 kilometres an hour there, Adam.
Just by 90. All right, King 2 Litre taking on the Golf.
At least both cars in this battle, 2 litre capacity. The aero lane moving around a little bit at half track.
He was fighting at Bushy, but he still took the win. Rolls out to 149.
Just goes to show how important that launch is away from the start line.
All right, Imposter taking on AERX3. Oh, the RX3 has to back out of it. Sideways from the get-go. Hands it to the Beamer. 178. That RX3 Bushy looks like he was trying to get the boost going, and as soon as he let go, it took off sideways. As we move into our next pair. George TTR8 versus the Osmonds Evo. Osmond's powered through. He might have it. He's got it. 223 apiece. Osmond's finishing first. Excellent result for the team at Osmonds.
There was a red light on that side though, Adam. So
was there?
Yeah.
Well, they said we'll leave that one with the judges then. R32 versus the R35. Both of them ready here, so we'll see what happens.
32 leaping away from the start line and then ducking and weaving its way.
246 Bushy.
Yeah, well.
Left and right all the way through.
Very even at the 8th mile mark on our timers. But just so aggressive away from the start line.
All right, the Ram truck taking on the RS3. Listen to the roar of that V8 coming from the truck. Keeping it honest, he might have this. He does.
He does. Got there in the end.
177 to 156. The TRX moving on to the next round. All right, King 2J versus the Falcon. Both of them brake stalling it up. Lets it loose. Both red light and voidly, so we'll see what happens here. Super taking the win, 217 to 179. Tell you what, I would hate to be a judge in these eliminations.
Yeah, no. I guess there's plenty. It looks like there's plenty of them down there on the wall.
Yep. Couple of tough Holdens here. Bad GTO versus the Walkinshaw. Bad GTO hits the NOS. Powers it out. 204, 151.
Yeah, we're singing pretty hard at the top end of the racetrack on the track mics there, Adam.
She was singing. As Matt comes out, he's 34. Faced up against the Evo. Evo powers on, back goes. Not today, mate. I'm taking it. 246 to 249. The Evo is trying, as you can tell. 3 kilometres faster, but just not enough to pip him on the line.
I think we've got the parachute out there on the Evo and the rocket lane, Adam.
Interesting, mate, interesting. Bit of backfire from the VL as he powers it out. Unfortunately, that might sacrifice his win. It does. 216 from the rocket to 182 in the aero. You ready to pull the parachute just for a bit of laughs, Bushy? And then you got to fold it up again.
Oh, yeah, that's the downside. You got to fold it back up and get back to the staging lanes ASAP.
As Fat VK takes on the Don't Ask.
Don't ask,
we're not going to ask because he's not going through. 178 to 167. Absurd Evo taking on the R8. Rolling intellect from the Evo. Hits the go.
I think the Audi's in trouble here, Adam, big time.
Evo took the prisoners at 235 to 201. You could hear that Evo just going, wanting to go, wanting to go, wanting to go. Let's go with the thumb, and off it went.
All in that launch, isn't it? That first
That's it, mate.
100 metres of racetrack.
Split second reaction times here as the Falcons take on each other. Both of them take off together. Silver going sideways, powering through. He wants that win. He takes it. 202, 210.
Got the feeling that one of those cars was still on the power well past the finish line.
Yeah.
You could hear a limiter of some sort ticking
The Green
away.
Falcon, I think it was, Bush. You could see going through at 210, even though he had the loss, but he wanted to make sure he had a chance. David Northey in the Datsun, taking on the Mark III Supra.
And the little Datsun got his work cut out for it here. I think the Supra should take it fairly comfortably on the brakes early. And still runs 209.
That's just rude, isn't it, mate?
It's just
when you're in the lead and you hit the brakes and still take the win.
It's almost like four flashing them, you know?
That's it.
Yep.
Hazards for the win.
Hazards for the win. That's what I'm looking for.
As Gas 2J Supra taking on the Gem 33. Supra takes off. The Gem says, no, I want this. Oh, there is nothing in that at all.
No, less than half.
216 kilometers an hour.
400ths of a second through the finish line. Absolutely nothing.
That's it. As we move on. Silver Evo taking on the Rexy. Rexy's taken off, maybe a bit too early. Evo goes around, screwing left and right, crosses over 213. 169 from the Rex. Evo was fighting it. He wanted that win. Then move on to the R32 taking on three-cylinder Yaris.
Slingshots out of the start line.
Fireballs at the back, hits the brake.
Yep, says I'll see you next time.
171 to 155. Man, those Yaris's are quick. Up next, the Chaser taking on the C63. C63 dumps it, takes off. Chaser trying to retaliate, going sideways, powers through. C63 takes it, 182. Couple of lead changes through that last race. As we move on, Jason Deck taking on the Silver Supra.
Jay, the last remaining Mazda in the field, I think, and
he makes sure he stays as in, mate.
He sure does.
He finishes through, takes the win. 168, 160 from the Supra. David Norvig coming down the return load in his beautiful Datsun. All right. Here comes Kilhara. from Couture in the 32, taking on the 34. He's going for it, 32. Kalari backs out. I don't think it was by choice, but unfortunately he does take it as a loss. Aeroflow powering through, 206.
Still 206 there for the Aeroflow lane, Adam. Both those cars were fighting all the way down.
It was neck and neck until Clara had to unfortunately back out of it. Nos Perch from the 32 on the return road as the Monaro is taken on the VF. Monaro hits it. Sideways left, sideways right, brings it back to the middle. VF is fighting, trying to get it back. Unfortunate. And the Monaro takes the win, 197 to 188.
Wow, that Monaro went from the wall to the centre line and still took the win. There would have been a fairly decent pedal in that. Next up, the Ute taking on the S15 there. The Ute, again, a little bit loose on the hit.
Takes the win, Bushy. 199.
Yep, just shy of the 200. 174 for the car in the rocket lane.
Fat 1.8 turbo from the Audi, taking on the 32. The Audi has hit it. Skyline hit it more. Skyline comfortably takes the win, 230 to 159.
Yeah, that was a nice straight pass out of the Skyline as well. Didn't move around at all, I don't think.
So, last car coming through, it looks like he has a bye run. So I'm guessing that means he takes the win.
Want to hope so.
As he rolls through, I'm guessing he's not going to do anything too crazy. Powers it. Why not? Give it a hit. Unfortunately, it won't register. Being a solo run, we don't get the speeds and solos. But as I said, it's a bye run anyway. As our round 2 starts assembling in the staging lanes.
Yeah, certainly not much time between rounds. They've only just completed their first, and the winners of those are filtering into the staging lanes already. But we can see some of our Burnout cars down there getting ready for another skid on the Burnout pad. Whether we're going to go to them first, I'm not sure, but definitely we can see the drivers and their passengers in the cars.
So, starting to cool down the vehicles.
Yeah, that's certainly one advantage of racing this time of year, is the heat sink's not quite so bad.
As I said, looking at the stage lanes, we do have 6 Burnout cars wanting to go, but it looks like the Elimination guys are like, nope, we're in the zone. So, while we do a bit of track prep here for round 2, might take a quick minute or so, Bushy, swap down. Thanks to some of our sponsors.
Shannon's is giving motoring enthusiasts the chance to win a trip to one of the world's greatest motoring events, the 2026 Goodwood Festival of Speed. Plus, win a new Indian motorcycle sport chief. To enter, take out new eligible car, bike or home insurance. Go online or call Shannon's.
Hi, my name's Jenna. I'm the team coordinator for Volante Roso. We're here at Phillip Island, where we've got our Radicals and our GT3. They're currently out on track and they're the champions of the weekend. However, we wouldn't be here without our partners Pack Lease, who are the real heroes who help us get here. They help us get to any event that we need to go to, including race weekends, media days, and track days. We've been partnered with the team at Packley's for the past 3 years, and we couldn't think of anyone better who we want to do this with. They get us from A to B and to every racetrack and every event that we need to go to. They are so extremely helpful with everything that we need, and we love being partnered with them.
Drag racing, it isn't just a sport, it's our legacy. Performance, it isn't just a word, it's our promise. 3 generations, 1 unwavering passion. Speed Flow, where innovation meets performance. Proudly Australian, unmistakably world class. Speed Flow.
Simpson Race Products Australia offers the widest range of safety gear, including helmets, Simpson hybrids, boots, driving suits, gloves, harnesses, underwear, accessories, and much more. Whether you're on the drag strip, circuit, or off-road, Simpson Race Products Australia has all the gear to keep you protected. Built to protect every race, every track, every lap. Simpson Racing Products Australia. For more information or to get some of the best safety equipment in Australia, send an email to sales@simpsonraceproducts.com.au or contact them directly on 0407 108 103 or 02 9545 6662.
Have this incredible drive to succeed. I've just got this ambition, I want to get on the podium. I think there's a lot of people that have an older mentality and don't think women belong in motorsport, and that's one thing I'd like to prove a lot of people wrong. It's you in the car and it's your ambition and your drive to win. As soon as that helmet goes on, that's it. I'm Brooke Newson. I'm a sprint car and outlaw car driver.
And as we move into round 2 of eliminations next weekend, Sydney, you're
263 kilometres an hour there for the car that was in the aeroflow lane. Good pass. Our next pair rolling out in round number 2 of eliminations here tonight.
nice close race to start us off. Bushy, Rocket Lane looks like he might have it. Oh, Bushy.
Wow.
202, 205. Was that 0.3 of a second? Wow. 0.3 of a second.
Because I would have sworn the car in the airflow lane was in front there.
Oh, mate. As up next, the Falcon taking on the Beamer. Falcon stalling it up, unleashes it, powers through, keeps it straight. Thanks for coming. 236 to 179.
Wow. Absolutely no prisoners in that run for the Falcon.
That Falcon was on a mission, mate. Moving on to the next round. As we move on to VR38 and the R35, taking on the Katura Lambo. The Katura Lambo has been consistent. As I say that, he proves me right. Powers around, see you later. 267 to 198. Bushy, that Katura Lambo is definitely one of the favourites. So.
Yeah, definitely. There's 3 Lambos on the property, and they're all up there.
He took that like it was a grain of salt. As Mr. 33 takes on the Doctor 34. 33 squirreling away. 34's trying so hard. He's
not getting
left,
there, unfortunately.
Right. Unfortunately, 33 secures the win. Eliminates the 34. 269 kilometres per hour. Next pair come through. Miss Lambo taking on the 32. The 32 is like, I need to get out of here. I need to win this. The Lambo's like, not today. Takes it, pips it. 1/10 of a second difference. 264 kilometres an hour from the Lambo.
I tell you what, I think if that was a clean run out of the Skyline, that Lambo would have been in big trouble there. There was definitely a couple of pedals away from the start line for the Skyline.
To be that much edge of your seat in round 2 just shows you how competitive this racing is tonight. As the Datsun Ute hits the go button, says, I'm sorry, Mr. EK, but you might be going home. 221 kilometres an hour versus 145.
All right, the Falcon versus the V8 Sylvia. Falcon over towards the centre line. The Sylvia.
It looks like he's backed out of it on your Bushy.
Yep. The Sylvia takes the win just over 200 kilometres an hour through the finish line.
So, some surprise results already coming through on round 2. As the next 2 come in, it's Gams VF taking on the turboed Hilux Sleeper. VF looks like he might take this one. But the Hilux at 196 was definitely coming back quick.
Yeah, if the track was longer, it would have been a different story, I think.
As our next 2 start their race. Four Banger Evo taking on the 32.
Both cars a little bit quicker.
Oh,
Skyline. Wow.
He gains it back.
Wow. Adam, how did he hang on to that?
With skill and precision. That's what it was. He knew what he was doing. He had it facing the wall and facing the other wall, just saying hello to everybody and then finished off. So I might get our...
But the heart rate was up just a little bit there.
Here we go, Bushy. Mac versus Osmonds. Osmonds just rocketed out of there. I don't know if that was... That one might need a bit of a look at, unfortunately.
I'll tell you what, though, that lands it dead straight down that rocket lane there.
I said Mac's meant to take the lead, so we'll see what the judges say about that one. Next up, C63 takes on the S15. V8 versus V8 in this one. 202 to 189. Up next, Fat VH takes on AERX3. RX3's winding it up. He's grabbing it. He's trying to pull through. He's fighting it, Bushy. Unfortunately, he didn't fight it enough. 183 to 165.
There's about 20 Ks difference there. The little Mazda, we could hear him on the track mics on and off the throttle, trying to get traction. The thing was going fairly straight, but just must have been spinning the wheels.
As 240 Jet plated on the Falcon takes on the Mark 4 Supra. Supra's fighting it again, left, right, straightens it up. Unfortunately, that might have cost him the win here. Falcon goes through for the win, 201. As we move on, Mark 3 Supra takes on Jay.
Well, this should be a good run. I think the Supra might have Jay here, but Jay's definitely one of the quickest on the property.
Jay smashing the gears. He really wants it. Oh, boy. Oh, wow. That was so close. 0.2 of a second difference. The Supra taking it.
I tell you what, that little RX-4 been very consistent all night, but so's the Supra.
As the 33 takes on the 34.
Flushes the flame out of both cars. The 34 moving around towards the finish line, 240 kilometres an hour. Wins by 0.4 of a second, 229 for the R32 in the aeroflow lane there. Next up, the Audi taking on the Dodge Ram. I think the Ram will definitely have its work cut out for it. 154 through the finish line for the Ram, 205 for the Audi. Yes.
Oh, Leanne, the truck. I don't think I don't.
Unfortunately, just got beat, Leanne, by a quick Audi down there.
Look, it did well to get this far, and I'm all for it. So can't wait to see more trucks here next time.
As we move on to the next lane, we've got the old Ute taking on the Monaro.
Lots of flame out of the pipes for the Ute there on the leave. 196 for the utility, 202 for the Monaro.
All right, Silver on the bye. Concludes round 2. So, as the ramp truck comes down the return road, we move into round 3 of eliminations. Have the tractor out. Make sure the track is nice and clean. So, Bushy and Leanne, I have some interesting news for you coming through.
Yes.
There's a couple of reruns for round 2.
Interesting.
So, when you thought it was all over, it's not all over.
Can you share who?
Well, I'm guessing it's one of this one here, as my crystal ball tells me. And the Monaro.
All right, let's go.
So, we'll just get the tractor to finish his U-turn down here.
You've got extra sources of
I
information
do.
in your
It's
ear,
like-
though. That's the thing.
Yeah, I've got Technical Larger in my ear. So
yeah, both of the utility and the Monaro have been pretty consistent all night long. The Monaro just over the 200 km/h mark, 204, 205. I think the Ute fractionally faster at like 215 or something like that.
Just casual 200 and something.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly what those cars were designed to do when they rolled out of their respective
back in my day.
Back in the day.
I wonder if the tachometers were black and white back then. That would have been colour, yeah.
I know KOTS mentioned online they had the new format where the right lane can go an extra 5 km an hour.
Okay.
Just to keep the speed. So, yeah, it looks like that seems to be working.
Yeah. I said there's been a couple where the right lane was ahead doing 90 something. You're like, unfortunate, but as I said, these two look like we just gonna have a rerun sorted out here and. As we get the next two pairings getting staged, we wait for the tractor up on the return road here as he's slowly putting away and they're closing the gate, as you can see in our vision here. Thumbs up from below. Tell you what, if you wanted the attention, you got it, hey?
Yes.
Everyone here watching these two.
Everyone just focusing completely on you.
It better be good. All right, here we go. My Monaro taking on the Ute. Both of them power sliding. Nothing in it, ladies and gentlemen. Powering through. Look at this.
Oh, the Monaro gets there, Adam. 204.5 km an hour to 197 for the utility right through the finish line.
Nothing like a close finish, Leanne.
That was a good one. That was very close.
Might have to do it again. Nah, just kidding.
A bit over a tenth of a second margin across the finish line in the timers. So those two would have been side by side all the way down.
Now I think about it, the Ram needs a rerun too. Just kidding.
I'm just hearing now. No, sorry. So, as the tractor comes out, just finishes one more sleep.
So we can see some of our round two winners rolling around the staging lanes for their next run in competition.
Just a quick one, Bushy. Next Wednesday, truck drags.
Yes, that was certainly something interesting. We have not done that as part of Aeroflow Race for Real, and I'm sure that Leanne's going to be along for that one. Seems like how much she loves trucks, right?
I actually went to one of these in Queensland, and it was so much fun. A lot of fun watching a huge Mack Silverliner, what do they call them?
You know we can take passengers, right? Just not at roll racing, but also as Aeroflow Race for Real. So,
do you remember back in our park days, the super truck racing?
Yes, of course I do.
They're coming out, two of them,
head
to head.
Nice.
So we've got two of those coming through. I said we've got some heavy haulers. It's show and shine down below. So if you like your trucks or your kids like your trucks, bring them down. As I said, next Wednesday as part of our Race for Real theme night.
Should be interesting to see if any of the Aeroflow Nitro Funny Car trucks make their way across from GC's warehouse.
Volvo truck's European, isn't it?
I know. I think he's. I don't know if he's a Volvo. I think they're Fords actually.
Yeah.
The old Louisvilles, but definitely something a little bit different. We might have a little bit of time to talk as they make their way down the racetrack, but I'm sure they'll be having a little bit of fun. I think they're only 8th mile though.
Yeah.
Did I read?
Hopefully someone got the memo that we're not going through the tunnel, because we'd hate for the truck to be a convertible.
Yes.
I was about to ask how high that tunnel was. I was just thinking about that.
So we're actually doing our staging lanes from the finish line entrance coming down towards the burnout pad for obvious height reasons.
I didn't even think about that. Lucky someone's on the
Probably
ball.
Darren didn't either, but we have now. So, moving on to that.
No stacks, no wind deflexes.
No, just
Rule number 1 of being a truck driver is know your height.
Correct.
Yeah. Safety tip from Leanne right there. And changing over next again, once again, Sydney Euro Motor Festival, 28th of June. If you haven't got your tickets, scan the QR code up on the screen. Further information. Precision Racing, bringing 15 of their finest vehicles. Show and shine, proudly provided by Expel. Bushy, you'll be here?
I will be. Probably in this very seat.
You will. So
alongside Pat Elliott and...
yes, Pat coming along with his Ducati Senna motorcycle.
Yes.
And there's an AMG Petronas Edition Ducati, which I don't know how that works, but it's coming, so we'll check that out as well. A couple of bikes that are entered.
Yeah, as I said before, Adam, it's certainly shaping up to be a fantastic event here at Sydney Dragway. I dare say you may have a couple of restless nights in the next week or so.
That's already started.
I'm sure you're organised.
Thanks to Wildcat, I'm still awake. Wildcat downstairs in the food store. Go check it out. Shameless plug. But yeah, so you guys, Sydney Euro Festival, 20th of June.
You are a natural at the plugs.
I love a good, I won't say like a good plug because that might, someone's going to clip that on me. As our mighty tractor, Lyle in the airflow lane, doing a solo pass. As we look down in our staging areas, looks like we've got the Lambo in front, the Mighty Z, Mr. 33, Miss Lambo. Couple of serious contenders were eliminated early, but that brings the variety into round 3. That's a great question, Leanne. So we'll go in on him.
It looks like it. Oh, here this guy's going to move, it looks. Oh, no, I'm 34.
Miss Lambo, yeah. The other guy jumped well and truly.
Oh, that mirrors what you're doing. That mirrors what you're doing.
Is that screen?
Yeah.
That's the big screen. Everything.
Yeah, okay.
All right, Adam, it looks like our round 3 is about to commence. The cars rolling under the tunnel.
That's right. It's go time, Bushy. One of these will be the winner of KOTS round 3. LR7 in the Turbo R8, taking off 4-banger in the Evo. Evo's gone.
Oh, wow.
He's taking it out. He's challenging the lead. Oh, R8 said, sorry, bud. I need it. I'm taking it. 267 to 170. Bushy, I thought the Evo had it there for a little second.
I thought that was going to be closer. It was almost like the Audi found warp speed and said, see you later.
Hit the go, baby, go button as the Coutura Lambo heads out with IM34. Angela kicking into the Ambo, unfortunately might have not helped it. As IM34 takes the win, the Lambo might have had a bit of a safety once he hit that rev cut, ignition cut.
That was definitely a bit unexpected.
Yeah. But that's all part of racing. And IM34 took advantage of it and took the win.
Makes you wonder what that limit's set at for it to do that, but anyway.
It's one of those woulda, shoulda, coulda moments, isn't it?
Exactly.
As the R8 moves out, takes on the Evo. Lambo takes off, sorry, R8 takes off. Evo fighting him, and he fought and he won.
Yeah, he did.
The Lambo, the R8, sorry, was coming back at 208, but the Evo crossed the line already at 193. There's some serious, serious wins here.
Definitely, and that Lancer drove around the Audi there.
SICK 240 taking on the XD.
XD out in front, I think, definitely has a point to prove tonight. 214 kilometres an hour, takes the win over 199 in the 240.
All right. Here we go. Mr. 33, Miss Lambo. 33 really wants this win. Let's see what happens here with Miss Lambo. 33 going here. I hear some rev cut. 33 cracked out of it. 264 from the Lambo, Leanne.
That would have been very close.
33 looked like he had it, unfortunately, and then, as I said, it sounded like an over-rev or a misshift and had to run it out. Another woulda, shoulda, coulda moment.
Yes.
As the Datsun Ute rolls out against bad GTO's Monaro.
Should be good pass. The little Datsun been on rails all night. Monaro doing his thing as well with the 3 kits of nitrous on it, as you say.
Literally sideways down the track, but takes the win.
0.2 of a second, the gap across the finish line.
As we move into our next 2 pairs, the GAM VF from YouTube taking on the S15.
S15 way over towards the wall.
201 for the win, 188 from the Aero.
He hugged that wall the whole way down.
It was close, wasn't it? Giving high fives to all the media crew. As some of our 2-wheel drive vehicles come out of the burnout pad. Get ready to line up, as you can see from our pictures. And our next 2 pair come through the tunnel. The Mark III Supra taking on King 2-litre. S15's going for it. Supra's fighting back. He comes around, he might take it, and he does. 239 to 203. There was nothing in that one. It was neck and neck, couple of lead changes there. Supra really wanted it and stole it.
It's interesting where the different cars have different strengths and weaknesses, even though it's only down effectively a 300-metre racetrack. As you say, the lead changed a few times there, but eventually the inline 6-cylinder just pulling away for the Supra to take the win.
Not a bad result at all as we move into Gas 2J, taking on Fat VH. VH sideways, jumps out of it, pedals it again. Supra comes around because he had to pedal it. Unfortunately, that pedaling cost him the win, and the Supra takes it 214 to 163. Bushy looked like the VH had that one, but as I said, he got a bit sideways and had to back out and re-pedal it, and the Supra was straight as an arrow and came back around.
Yeah, the VH been running strong all night, but unfortunately that's the end of competition for that car.
So we're just waiting to see. We've got a 34 down the back here. Looks like he might be doing a solo. We're not too sure.
Yeah, we managed to have a solo on each round so far, haven't we?
Yeah, well, I said hopefully he makes it enough time for the countdown. Ramos going over there. Detective Ramos finding out what's going on.
This person down here has the right idea with that hoodie on.
With the hoodie. You don't see hoodies much anymore.
I live in mine at the moment, at home.
Okay.
Not sure if I'd wear it here, but that's inspiring.
I mean, that could be the next merch line.
Just like Herman's fancy
I was about to say,
shorts.
why
Yes.
wear shorts when you can have an hoodie?
Is he in his shorts tonight? Please tell me he's
I'm not too sure.
I mean, he could be wearing them under the hoodie, but you know, it's a bit cold outside. All right, we've just got one more car, I think, sitting in the staging lanes. I don't know if we're waiting for a partner for that car or what. It's moving forward now. There's a little bit of pointing going on down there.
He's been told to move along, so obviously he might be coming through. He maybe wanted to take the solo, but you have to. If you want to move on the next round, you need to move around under power. So he's coming through. As Mac comes through for his solo run. He might be going, oh, Power's getting it. Look at him. And he rolls out of it.
So that previous round for him must have been a jump.
I said,
like
that's
we
right.
Suspected.
And then he got the bye as well, so he moves on again. As we move on, round 4, if my math serves me correctly. Leanne, highlights so far, besides the truck being eliminated?
Well, I was about to say seeing the Ram, but
Yes.
just being here, it's always good. The last one was the GDR Festival event. This is just a standalone event, and it's good to see all the crowd, especially bearing the cold. They're moving the rounds through quite quickly, which is also good for everyone standing in the cold.
Yeah.
What about you? What's your highlight?
My highlight, I think, is having some extra expert commentators here tonight for the first time, such as yourself,
Thank
Leanne.
you, thank you. I wouldn't say expert, but thank you.
Who will know the difference?
True.
Your
Good point.
years of experience have proven tonight that...
Doing a good job, Leanne. That's what he's trying to say.
Yes.
Thank you, appreciate it.
As it gets a bit foggy out there, ladies and gentlemen. Bit of condensation on the windows.
Who's drawing up there?
Where? No, that was just me seeing if there was condensation. Oh, this.
You're out of control. You need another Wildcat. You need another Wildcat, Adam. As we run the tractor just down the up and down each lane to keep the moisture off the racing surface. Make sure it's clean and dry as well. Shouldn't be too far away. We can see some of our round 4 competitors making their way back around into the staging lanes. I think some of those cars, the old heat sink, could be coming around, I dare say, even in the cool weather that we've got here tonight.
So some of the heavy hitters remaining are the LR7 R8, Miss Lambo, and Max coming back through from his solo run just now. I am 34. One of the Silver Evos is still there as well. And the XD. Good little variety there. As we go back down, we would go back into round 4, Bushy. It looks like that's either Mac or I'm34 versus the Audi. We'll confirm that for you in 2 seconds.
Yeah, certainly starting to see some of the bigger hitter cars coming together.
It is I'm34 versus LR7. The Turbo R8 versus the 34. LR7 says, good game, my friend, good game. 265 for the win and 223 from I'm34.
Yeah, no disrespect to I'm34, but I don't think the Audi never looked back in that one.
As said, the V10 overpowering as the XD takes on bad GTO. Hopefully he's got enough nitrous left in the GTO. 3 shots. XD powering through. Sideways at the end, takes it 236 to 219.
About 2/10 across the finish line. That Falcon was went from pretty much the centre line way over to the wall there at the finish line.
They were both pedaling. They knew they both wanted that so bad. As we move into the Monaro versus King 2 litre. Very close match here. Wow, 203 to 202. And they only finished 1.9 tenths apart.
Yeah, Monaro definitely keeping him honest, that's for sure.
Oh, here we go, Max versus the Evo. This is going to be a good one. Max fighting left, fighting right. The Evo is fighting left, fighting it right. Mac finishes off, takes it, 245 to 235. As you said there, Bushy, Mac really wanted that. They were both pedaling that, just holding on for dear life. As we move on to Gas 2J with the Mark 5 Supra taking on the S15. The S15 is ahead here. Let's see if he takes it. Unfortunately, that may not be a good run.
Looks like it's fairly even nevertheless, but the Sylvia taking first, but as you say, the Supra has to lead that race.
Just got news, the Aeroflow did take that win. It was a rocket jump.
Yep, so the onus on the driver in the right-hand lane.
Miss Lambo with the bye run, ladies and gentlemen. As you'll see, no speed will be recorded either during a solo run. That just sounds amazing, doesn't it?
It sure does, and it not taking it easy on the car on the solo either.
Yep. Nothing wrong with a bit of pink. So.
Well, we've got a theme for pink Lambos here, in that there's 2 of them, and they're both very, very fast.
Yes. One would be purple nearly.
Well, yeah.
If you want to tell Tony it's pink, I'll stand back and let you say it.
Well, it's more pink than it's black, isn't it? Or
Okay, sure, Bushy. Sure. It's more yellow than it is grey, but you know.
Should I just keep digging?
No. So, once again, the numbers are halved as we move into round 5. Couple of upsets, couple of present surprises. As the mighty tractor does his run. Mac coming back down the return load from his win. Smiles all around, thumbs up. The Tony Rigoli Evo. Bring it back under. The Gas 2J. Fluorescent white paint and the S15 with the carbon fibre on it. As the tractor comes down, does a U-turn, does one final pass. As the tractor just does one more run, we might do a quick ad break from PRP, Platinum Racing Products. Play a quick ad from them as one of our sponsors and be back with you guys shortly.
Drag racing, it isn't just a sport, it's our legacy. Performance, it isn't just a word, it's our promise. 3 generations, one unwavering passion. Speed Flow, where innovation meets performance. Proudly Australian, unmistakably world class. Speed Flow.
Simpson Race Products Australia offers the widest range of safety gear, including helmets, Simpson hybrids, boots, driving suits, gloves, harnesses, underwear, accessories, and much more. Whether you're on the drag strip, circuit, or off-road, Simpson Race Products Australia has all the gear to keep you protected. Built to protect every race, every track, every lap. Simpson Racing Products Australia. For more information or to get some of the best safety equipment in Australia, send an email to sales@simpsonraceproducts.com.au or contact them directly on 0407 108 103 or 02 9545 6662.
This incredible drive to succeed. I've just got this ambition, I want to get on the podium. I think there's a lot of people that have an older mentality and don't think women belong in motorsport, and that's one thing I'd like to prove a lot of people wrong. It's you in the car and it's your ambition and your drive to win. As soon as that helmet goes on, that's it. I'm a sprint car and Outlaw car driver.
Building a street car through to a race car? Be sure to think of Aeroflow Performance, the ever-increasing...
Getting eagerly waiting to see some elimination runs. As we've got Miss Lambo taking on, is it Macked? Yep, Miss Lambo versus Macked. So this is going to be a good run. These are the two you don't want to versus each other until the end. So the fact that we're going to be seeing them head-to-head means that one of these two will not proceed through, but I'll tell you what, they're both going to be trying their damn hardest.
We can't have too many more rounds left, Adam, although there's a number of our two-wheel drive competitors waiting patiently to go into the burnout box in the staging lanes, so they want to make sure that those tyres are in optimal temperature.
Yep.
And pressure to get optimum traction on the racetrack.
But we both know that both these cars, Leanne, both from Platinum Racing Products.
The Lambo, I'm not too sure, but Max definitely, yes.
I know he has some V-band spaces and things like that, and some purpley bits. So
just waiting for the tractor to get off as we go into round 5.
Doing this parade. Don't forget, guys, if you're out in the middle of a build, don't forget to look up the Platinum Racing Products website. As our Lyle, the trusty tractor driver. I'm sure that's not what he's known as, but what do you do? I'm the tractor driver. Don't forget, guys, before you leave, go and storm the Motor Video Gazebo. Make sure they don't shut early on you and just go raid them. As I said, I believe there is still a couple of GDR Festival merch up there, so go there, find out, grab yourself a bargain. All right. So, quick recap here. Miss Lambo in the aeroflow lane taking on Mac 34 from the Mac Civil team. As we look in the staging lane of Bad GDO and the couple of the crowd at the back waving, staging lanes, eagerly wanting to see a race as much as we do. As the thumb is given, thumbs up. All right. Here we go. As the Mac's taking a solo, might have to reverse this one. Not too sure what happened there. Just looking down, see if I can get any clues from Romanos or Michael down here. What's happened here if we're doing another run? All right, as we do a redo. Here we go. Now Mac's ready. Miss Lambo isn't. I think this might be strategy.
I was going to say, are they playing mind games? It seems very much like a mind games thing. You did that, so now I'm going to do it back to you.
Yep.
It's like a staging duel in drag racing.
This is all part of the racing fun.
Remind us of that here. He's getting nervous. There's Daniel, our event manager, comes down here and goes, "Are you sure you're ready? Are you sure you're ready?" They're ready. Here we go.
Third time lucky.
All right. Miss Lambo versus Mac 34. Here we go. Oh, Mac's sideways, fighting it.
Wow.
He's pushing the limit. Oh.
Wow.
That looked way too close to my liking. 0.06. Wow. Oh. What a run. As we quickly move into the S15 versus the Falcon. Falcon sideways, nearly crosses the line, brings it back. Back to the line again. He was fighting it so much, the Sylvia went around.
0.019 of a second across the finish line, the margin there. The Sylvia just taking it. The Falcon, I think, out in front for the majority of that there, Adam. It just got way out of shape for the driver's comfort zone, and the Sylvia,
as I said,
snuck in right at the end.
The S15 took advantage of the Falcon struggling as LR7 goes through for the solo.
So that leaves us with 3 cars.
LR7, Miss Lambo, and the Sylvia.
Yes.
Could be interesting. Will the Sylvia crown an upset? Will Miss Lambo just take the win? Well, LR7 not wanting to do with it. Well, King 2-0 is doing another solo here for some reason, so... So, it'd be King 2 Leader versus the White Sylvia. And then Miss Lambo versus LR7.
Okay.
That's according to Leanne, unofficially. Maybe unofficially me as well, but...
We'll find out.
beautifully presented Lamborghini comes through. Backed in the 34 from Max Civil. The White Sylvia triumph over the Falcon. So, ladies and gentlemen, we do have a couple of burnout cars to come out after the final. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 8 burnout cars, a couple of drift cars. So the night is not over. So, as we wait for our two-wheel drive finalists to do their final pre-burnout in the backstaging area, we'll then move on to our drifting and burnout event. All right, so we've got the thumbs up again as we move into our finals for the all-wheel drive overall and the two-wheel drive series. Leanne is down there with those trophies to present. Here we go. Miss Lambo versus LR7 for the final. LR7's taking advantage of the hiccup from Miss Lambo and takes the win, 265 to 262.
Yeah, 3 kilometres an hour, 0.2 of a second across the finish line there, Adam. Nice and close.
Miss Lambo had a bit of a moment off the line and had to re-pedal it, and LR7 had a straight run. So came around and took it. As we move into the rear-wheel drive final, King 2-litre versus the Sylvia. The white Sylvia is already squirrely. Lots of wheel spin from both. Oh, what a finish. 215 to 209, half a tenth.
Yeah, good clean pass from both sets of finalists there, Adam.
Yes. And now we move into the burnout session and drifting.
If you're sitting in front of the coloured seating there, we need you to move back for your own safety, of course, ladies and gentlemen. Well, the roll racing part of this evening is now concluded with our winners crowned, but we do have, I think, 8 Burnout cars sitting in the staging lanes that want to come out and thicken the air with a bit of tyre smoke here this evening. So we need you to move back to behind the coloured seating there. So there's a couple of people in the front, a couple of rows down there. We need you to move right back. I know you might not be directly in front of the Burnout pad, but we need you to move back to the coloured seating.
As I see Leanne down there, what have you got for us? Leanne, just we can't quite hear you at the moment.
As our winners assemble down in the startup area here at Sydney Dragway for round number 3 of the KOTS Racing Series. And Leanne down there with a couple of trophies for our winners.
As we get our cars presented, Leanne's down there with the trophies in hand. $1,000.
Thank you very much, Leanne.
Thanks, guys. Well done. Here is the trophy from PRB. Thank you very much. Is that the right one? Yep.
Awesome result there for the overall winners as we move over to the two-wheel drive winner.
Here's your trophy. Congratulations.
Thank you.
PRP?
Yes, from Platinum Racing Products. How did you go tonight?
Pretty good. Happy first time out roll racing in the car, so I'm wrapped.
Well, good job.
Must be camera shy.
Yeah.
Hold the trophy.
Awesome result there for the two-wheel drive winners. Jumping in here for a quick photo.
Oh, I ran my battery died.
As we move into our burnouts. Here we go, guys. Make some noise for the S14. Round of applause there from the S14, ladies and gentlemen, as we move into our next vehicle. So, ladies and gentlemen, a bit of a surprise entrant here in the Burnout comp. Look at this. Here we go.
I don't know if you can hear the crowd up there, but even the crowd's excited to see this.
Your favourite truck is back, Leanne.
Happy to see it.
Now, I hope that's just tyre smoke. Doesn't look good, Leanne.
There was definitely a noise of some sort. I'm not sure what it was, but let's see. Let's all give him a round of applause anyway for trying. Woo!
Unfortunate result there, Leanne, for the Ram. So we move on to our next couple of vehicles. Looks like you've got 6 or 7 coming towards you, Leanne.
That is upsetting, and I did just hear a rumour that might have been the 3rd diff now.
Oh. Shameless plug. As On Task takes on the Burnout pad. All right, guys, round of applause there for the VE. It looks like might have a flat. Oh, there we go, he got it back. That looks a bit more. Might be the radiator blown here, unfortunately. Tough burnout here from the Holden. Round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, as we move into our next vehicle. As we move on, purple VZ. Round of applause for the VZ, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow, he came to party. What'd you call that car?
That's the Grimmer Shake.
From McDonald's?
Hope you guys come down earlier. No, we did all the way.
All right, guys. Looks like we have one last car. Gets the go-ahead to come on through.
It's very quiet sitting down there. Not,
Yes.
not like our burnout cars.
No.
Normally. I don't say that in any disrespect, but
it's very eerie.
It's very quiet.
Come on, guys, make some noise. You're about to see some burnouts.
As he comes in and tips in, let's see what...
Come on, egg him on. Let's go.
Sounds like it's running through the full pipes as compared to
Yeah.
our last entrant.
Nice little tip there. Flying debris into Romanos's face. Welfare check, Leanne.
Should be too busy getting
I saw the
smoke.
thumb, so I don't know whether that was a good or a bad, but... Put your hands together, Sydney Dragway. Welfare check, Leanne. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes tonight's event. Round 3 of KOTS Australia, proudly supported by Turbo Smart and Platinum Redux Australia.
Well, it's been a fantastic night, Adam. We've seen a bit of everything running down the racetrack tonight, and a few upsets, but some well-deserved wins, some pretty good burnouts, a good crowd in the house, good atmosphere down there, according to Leanne. So, yeah, I think all in all, it's been a great success. Thank you to the KOTS organisers for all their efforts and hard work. Thank you to the Sydney Dragway track staff for all their ongoing support of the venue. Thank you to all of our spectators that have come along tonight and braved the weather. Keep your eyes on the track's Facebook page for all the upcoming events, especially the Sydney Euro Motor Festival, which is, of course, next weekend, next Saturday, the 28th of June. Scan the QR code there and that'll get you in the right direction for some tickets and bits and pieces.
And just quickly, Leanne, if you can still hear us, thank you for tonight. Hope you had fun.
I definitely did. Thanks for having me. Good time, good crowd, good event. Thanks to Romanos and the KOTS team. Great event.
Yes, thank you again to Romanos and Michael from KOTS Australia. Keep an eye on Facebook for the next event. Until then, stay safe, ladies and gentlemen. I believe some boys in blue are out on the road, so just be careful when leaving. Have a good night.
Good night.